Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into something that's at the very core of our walk with God, unshakable faith. Have you ever felt like your faith was on a roller coaster? One day you're soaring high, feeling God's presence so clearly, and the next you're in a valley of doubt, wondering where He is. If that's you, you are not alone. Life throws curveballs, unexpected challenges, unanswered prayers, moments of confusion that can really test the foundations of what we believe. But the good news, the incredible news, is that God has given us a blueprint for building a faith that does not just survive the storms, but actually grow stronger through them. It's not about having no doubts. It's about knowing where to take them. It's not about being perfect. It's about depending on a perfect God. So, how do we get there? How do we move from a fragile faith to a fortress of faith? The first and most foundational key is getting to know who God truly is, not just who we think He is or who others say He is. And the primary way we do that is through His Word. Think of the Bible not as a rule book, but as God's personal letter to you. It's where He reveals His character. In its pages, we see His faithfulness to generations past, His infinite wisdom, His incredible power, and His unconditional love. When you read about David, a man after God's own heart who still made huge mistakes, you see God's grace. When you read the story of Joseph, who was betrayed and forgotten, yet saw God's hand turn it all for good, you see God's sovereignty. The more we immerse ourselves in these truths, the more our trust in Him deepens. It's like building a relationship with a friend. The more time you spend with them, the more you understand their character, and the more you trust their heart. Spending daily time in the Word, even just a few minutes, plants seeds of truth that will anchor you when the winds of doubt begin to blow. The second key, which works hand in hand with the first, is a consistent prayer life. Prayer is our direct line to the Creator of the universe. It's not a formal presentation. It's a conversation. It's where we bring our joys, our fears, our questions, and yes, even our doubts. Hebrews 4:16 encourages us to approach God's throne of grace with confidence, so that we may receive mercy and find grace to help us in our time of need. God invites you to be real with Him. He already knows what's on your heart, but He wants you to share it with Him. When we consistently lay our burdens at His feet, we practice dependence. We are actively saying, God, I can't handle this on my own, but I trust that You can. This act of surrender is incredibly powerful. It shifts our focus from the size of our problem to the size of our God. And as you see Him answer, guide, and provide time and time again, your faith isn't just a belief anymore, it becomes a lived experience. It's a track record of His faithfulness in your own life. Now, let's talk about the importance of community. God designed us for fellowship. We are not meant to walk this journey alone. Hebrews 10:24-25 says, "And let us consider how we may spur one another on toward love and good deeds, not giving up meeting together, but encouraging one another, Being part of a healthy, Christ-centered community, a church, a small group, a Bible study is vital for unshakable faith. This is where you find people who can lift you up when you're down. They can share their own testimonies of God's faithfulness, which bolsters your own faith. They can pray for you when you don't have the words to pray for yourself. They can offer a different perspective and speak truth into your life when you're blinded by your circumstances. A fire with one log quickly burns out, but when you put several logs together, the fire burns hotter and longer. Your faith is the same way. When you surround yourself with other believers, your collective faith creates a powerful, resilient flame that is much harder to extinguish. Another crucial key is to intentionally look for God's hand in your life and practice gratitude. It's so easy to focus on what's going wrong, the prayers that seem unanswered, or the doors that have closed. But what if we shifted our perspective? What if we started a gratitude journal and every day wrote down 3 things we're thankful for? It could be as simple as a beautiful sunset, a kind word from a stranger, or the strength to get through a tough day. This practice retrains our brains to look for God's goodness. It helps us see that even in the midst of trials, His blessings are all around us. Remembering God's past faithfulness is a powerful weapon against present doubt. The Israelites were constantly told to set up stones of remembrance, so they would never forget how God had delivered them. Your memories of God's provision, your journal of gratitude, these are your stones of remembrance. When you're facing a new giant, you can look back and say, God was with me then, and He is with me now. Let's also understand the role of trials. No one likes them, but James 1 tells us to consider it pure joy whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. It doesn't say feel joy, but consider it joy. It's a conscious choice of perspective. Think of it like a muscle. To get stronger, a muscle must be put under resistance and stress. In the same way, our faith isn't strengthened when everything is easy. It's forged in the fire of adversity. It's in the waiting, the struggling, and the clinging to God when everything else is shaking that our spiritual roots grow deep. When you look back at the most challenging seasons of your life, you'll often find that those were the times you grew the most and experienced God's presence most profoundly. So when trials come, instead of asking why me, try asking, God, what are you teaching me through this? How can I grow closer to you in this season? Finally, building unshakable faith means focusing on the ultimate promise, Jesus Himself. Our faith isn't in our ability to hold on. It's in His ability to hold us. It's not founded on our feelings, which change like the weather, but on the finished work of the cross, which is an unchanging historical event. The resurrection is the ultimate proof that God is who He says He is and can do what He says He can do. It's the victory over sin and death, the guarantee of our hope. When your world feels like it's falling apart, fix your eyes on Jesus. Remember His sacrifice. Remember His promise that He will never leave you nor forsake you. Remember that He is preparing a place for you, and that one day every tear will be wiped away. This eternal perspective changes everything. It reframes our temporary struggles in the light of eternal glory. It reminds us that this life is not the end of the story. So, to recap these keys to an unshakable faith: first, immerse yourself in God's Word to know His character. Second, cultivate a consistent conversational prayer life. Third, plug into a Christ-centered community. Fourth, practice gratitude and remember God's faithfulness. Fifth, reframe trials as opportunities for growth. And finally, keep your eyes fixed on Jesus, the author and perfecter of our faith. Building this kind of faith isn't a one-time event. It's a lifelong journey. There will be good days and hard days, but by consistently practicing these principles, you are not just building on sand that will wash away. You are building your house on the rock. And when the rains come down and the streams rise and the winds blow and beat against that house, it will not fall, because it has its foundation on the rock, who is Jesus Christ. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. I pray this was an encouragement to you. If it was, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel for more content to help you grow in your walk with God. Tidy. Love to hear from you in the comments which of these keys resonated with you the most today. Let's continue to build each other up. God bless you, and I'll see you in the next video.